At the most recent Detroit Lake City Council meeting, the council made a decision not to raise the overall tax and license fee on individual bars here in the city of Detroit Lakes, but did raise it $25 on several other liquor-related fees and liquor-related items. And most notably, a city council member has submitted his letter of resignation due to, frankly, work getting in the way of his job of being a city representative on the council. But we'll start with the liquor situation. 2 years ago, the city of Detroit Lakes raised the liquor licensing fee for bars here in the city by $1,000, from $2,000 to $3,000, a huge jump in 1 year. Meanwhile, in the meantime, a 1% food and beverage tax was implemented on those liquors, or on those bars. However, that was actually done in a general vote, so you can't necessarily put that one on the city, even though the city is the one who did in fact ask for it. But the city was asking for an additional $200. That would mean in the last 2 years, a liquor license for a bar here in Detroit Lakes would have gone from $2,000 to $3,200. Now, the reason the city was asking for is it says it needs to make up for its own fees and costs for either issuing the permits, enforcing the permits, whatever expense the city claims they have from using these fees and issuing these licenses. Now, in the meantime, the council, cooler heads prevailed among them. They decided not to raise the $200, leave it at $3,000, but did increase by $25 the on-sale 3-2 malt liquor per year, the off-sale 3-2 malt liquor per year license, the off-sale grocery store license, and most notably, I think, a $25 increase on the temporary fee for on-sale intoxicating liquor licenses for nonprofits and clubs, along with another $25 increase for those that would be selling alcohol temporarily here in the Lakes area. Now, while not raising the extra $200 on the bars, I think is a right move, especially after the $1,000 increase earlier, it still shows that the city of Detroit Lakes, instead of looking at ways of being serious about cutting their costs in the city, are intent to raise taxes in order to raise more money. And after all that, Alderman Jim Anderson, who has served 11 years in the Detroit Lake City Council, submitted his letter of resignation. He represents Ward 3. The reason he did submit his letter of resignation was frankly because of his position at the bank here in town just took up too much of his time. When he ran for re-election in 2008, his time restraints were not as great as they are now. And of course, anybody that's followed the news knows there's a lot of changes that has happened in the banking industry since 2008. But that means the city of Detroit Lakes is looking for a new alderman. Right now, they'll be taking applications, anybody that lives in Ward 3, which basically encompasses western downtown Detroit Lakes and the western part of the lake area, Long Lake, Big and Little Detroit Lake, are the people they're looking for. If you're wondering if you live in Ward 3, you can contact the city of Detroit Lakes, tell them where you live, they'll be able to tell you what ward you live in. Now, the city of Detroit Lakes is going to fill this seat the same way they filled a lot of these vacancies over the last few years. Take applications, they'll interview the candidates, and they'll select somebody to fill out the remaining final year of Jim Anderson's term. That Ward 3 seat will be up for election and the coming election next year. The only thing I don't like about that is the city council then gets to fill a seat on the city council, when frankly the city council is supposed to be filled by representatives from the community. The community has to let the city council plug in whoever they want for at least a year. Now, I know an election costs thousands of dollars, so to hold a special election in Ward 3 maybe is just not practical for 1 year of service. But I wish there was a better alternative than to just let the city council appoint their own people to the council. However, the more applicants we get, the better chance we have of getting a good person there. And of course, that Ward 3 seat will be up next year for election.